Benchwarmers, what's up? We're recording this extra episode for you this week because we had some special UEFA the Champions League matches today. And Tuesday and Wednesday, the matches are done. There's been a lot of football. There's been a lot of results, a lot of shocks, a lot of upsets, a lot of typical results, and we'll get to those pretty soon. Again, just to make the introductions, my name's Diego, the Stat Troll. I'm joined today by Marco, the Instigator.
That's me.
Okay, good. I was
He's
hoping
the
that he would
instigator.
interrupt
I'm
me.
the interrupter.
Okay,
and then
good.
the other one's the smug that's walking around like a crazy man.
Well, yes, I'm joined by Marco, the interrupter, Erik, the Instigator, and the Smug, who is out here walking around. I'm not sure why. I think he's maybe he's trying to look for Firmino because he's gone missing for his team. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to get to those. We're going to get to all of those results, especially the ones in the Premier League. We're not going to talk about everything. We're going to do our best to highlight the matches that we think were key and that were exciting. There were a lot of blowouts this week as well. So without any further ado, we're going to get right into it. And the first one that I want to bring up to you guys, this is from Tuesday. It seemed like it was a pretty routine win, but Red Bull Salzburg and Bayern Munich 6-2, a very controlling win by the Bavarians. Lewandowski again on the score sheet with a brace, an own goal in there. How do you guys feel about? And I'll ask this to Erik. How do you feel about Bayern Munich's chances for a repeat?
Just with their squad depth, man, I don't write it off. I think if there's anybody who has the players and a team and just the momentum to do it, it's definitely Bayern Munich. I mean, with the likes of Leroy Sané in the squad now, it's just you just added more firepower to what's already such a strong team. And Lewandowski still scoring goals at the right, like it's not like it's it's the only thing he knows how to do, which it is because he had two goals this game.
Yeah, 2 goals this game, and a late goal and a penalty to start it off in the first half.
Yeah, so if there's anything to do it, it's definitely Bayern Munich. So I would give them, if I were to give them out of 10 chance of winning the Champions League again, I'll probably give them like a solid 7 or 8.
7 or 8. That's actually pretty high, Marco. Maybe you might be a little bit partial to this, but a lot of people have been clapping up the inclusion of Leroy Sané on this Bayern Munich team. How do you remember Leroy Sané on Man City? And do you think that he's going to be a key factor for Munich this season in the Champions League?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the kid unfortunately his last season with Man City, he was injured, so we weren't able to really see what he could come up with. But I remember like when Pep just had showed up and the moments of brilliance that the kid just did on the left wing was phenomenal, and the speed that he has and the cleverness and the ideas that he has to now that he's at Bayern, and I've seen a couple games early in the season, and bro, I'm extremely surprised at what this kid can do. And with Bayern, I can see them definitely making it to the finals this season. And also they just got their Champions League record, which is 14 games won straight within Champions League. So I mean, Bayern has to be the favorite to win it this season. Will they? I agree with Erik. It's a 7-8 chance because you never with soccer you just never know what's going to happen. But they are the favorites to win it.
Well, talking about like a winning streak, unfortunately, just to mention them, Marseille had their own record broken, 12 straight losses in Champions League appearances, which is that's rough. That really is rough. It's like showing up to the dance, but getting no one to dance with you and just sitting by yourself.
Sounds like me in middle school and high school.
For real. Sitting at the bleachers, waiting for somebody to like say yes.
I'm with my mom sometimes, just so I won't feel alone.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. There's one other result which was a blowout like this. There's a few more which are less. But they were still very commanding leads. Borussia Mönchengladbach with a 6-0 win over Shakhtar, a very commanding win that gives them a big edge for their group specifically. I would presume that this match was probably not one of the ones that was picked up on the most, but Plea was on fire for his team in this game. If I'm not mistaken, I think he scored a hat trick for it as well. Marcus Thuram, who showed up really strong against Real Madrid last week. He was the provider for this for one of his goals as well. So 6-0. And I'm going to throw this to Marco back again, and we'll try to get Smug in for this for the group specifically. But Marco, seeing Mönchengladbach have this kind of response, does that worry you for the likes of the other two teams in the group?
Well, three, but yes, no, I think they're definitely gonna walk away with first or second. They're definitely in the next phase. Now, who's gonna take second spot? That's still up in the air. I mean, Real Madrid are not looking at all competitive enough to walk away from this group stage, and they got lucky against Inter. I'm not gonna lie. I've been hearing people like, "Oh, the tactics were phenomenal." Blah, blah. I'm like, no. I mean, we had moments, but defensively, we look like kids out there. I mean, it's bad. Like, I'm sorry, but like, Baran is still not, at least champion when it comes to the Champions and European competition. He's still not there. I think he's still struggling and trying to figure out where is he going wrong. I think he's too much in his head that he's screwing up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So are they gonna make it to the next phase? I want to say yes. They have 9 points, I think, 8, something like that. Well, they're first place, and I know for a fact that Real Madrid or Inter will take the next spot. I just don't know. At this moment, I don't have no idea who will do it.
Well, right now, I mean, Mönchengladbach are leading the group with 5 points. If it makes you feel any better, Shakhtar and Real Madrid are tied on 4. The only difference is, I guess, like the goal difference. In this case, Le Smug, looking at Real Madrid and how they've been struggling, they did beat Inter 3-2. Was that a result that you were expecting, looking at their recent results?
Dude, honestly, man, Real is not looking good. They were lucky to get past that scoreline with a 3-2. At the end of the day, Vinicius misplaced the pass to Benzema, and that turned into the goal for Rodrigo, is it? The new kid?
Rodrigo Goes.
I mean, okay, good, but is that going to get you to a Champions League final? It might not even get you out of the group stage. So for now, they're riding their coattails and they're being lucky. That's it.
So we did see Inter in that game. Lautaro Martinez scored a pretty decent goal. Perisic had a bit of a sloppy one that he put away. That was one thing that I remember, Marco, you were kind of lambasting the defense for letting that go. Do you think, Erik, that the squad depth that Inter has, is that enough to get them out of this group with just 2 points?
No, not at all. And but the one thing I do like about this Inter squad is that they have Vidal, and Vidal, when he talks shit, it backfires on him every single time. So I am so glad that he has joined that team. But as far as depth goes, man, I don't see it there yet. Inter still have a way to go. They do have a solid team. I'll give it to them when it comes to that. But as far as competing in the Champions League, there's still a long way to go to actually start competing, I guess, for when it comes to that final stages of the tournament. But I could, like Marco said, I could see Real Madrid coming out of second place in this league, in this group. It's going to be tough. They made it tough for themselves, but still likely I could still see them just because, I mean, Shakhtar, all credit to them. I think Real Madrid are going to win that game. They're going to be able to get out on top of them. So I'm going to give it to Madrid. Inter, I think they'll be going to Europa, to the best competition in the leagues in the world. So when I face Arsenal, let's go, baby, let's do
it. Throwing it back to Le Smug, the last match we want to talk about for Tuesday, just so that we keep moving through these very swiftly and smoothly. We have Liverpool with a 5-0 blowout of Atalanta. Diogo Jota getting his first hat trick for the club. Mane and Salah scoring goals on either end of his last, of his third goal. How do you feel about Diogo Jota? Is it too much of a knee-jerk? Like, honestly, is it a knee-jerk reaction to say he's going to replace Firmino in that squad? I know we spoke about this a little bit already, but looking at this Champions League performance by itself, is that enough for Jota?
No, it's not enough. I actually don't think he's going to start at the weekend. I think he's a good replacement for Firmino in the middle of a game where everything's static. Firmino brings something different. Jota is bringing in those incisive runs. He's linking up with Shaqiri pretty well, but he's sort of the unpredictable one. So right now, it's pretty hard to tell where he's going to come in, what he's going to do. Firmino, you know what he's going to do. He's going to sit up top, drop in the middle, move the ball around, make space. Jota is doing that as well as running up the left, running up the right, recovering. But I don't think he's as smooth as Firmino and as defensive as Firmino. So if you want to make high pressure, you want to keep a consistent front line, is with Firmino. We know what he's going to get. But when you want to change it up and cause the center back some confusion, that's when you bring in Jota. So I actually think the combination of the two may be working out best for us.
Were you expecting, Erik, to see this scoreline for this Liverpool team 5-0 against Atalanta, who were actually doing pretty good as far as scoring goals last season?
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool win, yes, and Atalanta nil, no. Like Edgar said, the Jota inclusion is definitely throwing like a wrench in everybody's, I guess, tactics when it comes to facing them. But I'm upset that Atalanta didn't get the score. She didn't take advantage of the fact that Liverpool are missing those key defensive players on the squad right now. So yeah, I am kind of surprised, and I'm not as upset as I am with Atalanta as I am upset as how Liverpool are actually managing to do well without these defenders. That to me is a bigger takeaway. The fact that they can actually not have Van Dijk, not have Fabinho, not have Matip, and still put in the defensive work. That to me is a little alarming for all the rival fans. But Atalanta have got to step it up.
Marco, you think that this hat trick? He's 23. Jota is still pretty young. You think that this kind of form is something that Jota is capable of maintaining? We've seen his career. He's jumped from Wolves to Atletico Madrid on loan, back to Wolves and then from Porto. Like he's jumped between these three squads quite a bit. It looks like he settled at Liverpool. Do you think that that's where he's going to make his nest and actually come good?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's very young, and I can see him staying there for the next 4 or 5 years with no problem at all. Now, will he could be as consistent? I mean, time will tell. But as of right now, he's surprising the shit out of me.
Doesn't he have like second most goals in 10 games behind Fernando Torres and something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
crazy.
I remember reading a stat like that. Yeah,
it's fucking. I think 7 goals in 10 games, if I'm not mistaken, or something like along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what he's been able to accomplish in so little time.
I don't know, man. Firmino, if I were Firmino, I'd be scared. I mean, as much as Klopp and most of the fans want to play it down, if you're scoring goals and you're putting in the work, it's only time that you're going to be, the first player selected. So if I were Firmino, I'd be getting scared.
But he needs a little fire under his ass. Firmino has had his position locked up. I mean, I know that Takami Minamino came in, but he wasn't going to replace Firmino.
No.
So
yeah, exactly.
It's all right. That's a good stopgap for a little bit. But then Diogo came in, and now he's putting a fire under Mane's ass, under Salah's ass, under Firmino's ass. It just happens to be right now. Firmino's on the stove getting his ass cooked.
Yeah.
Next it could be Mane.
If that's your biggest problem, that a new player that you just brought in is making it difficult for your manager to select players to make the best team, the best 11 perform, that's a really good problem to have. That's not a problem that I'd be complaining about. So I'll credit to Liverpool and Klopp for finding this gem in Wolves.
Yeah, definitely. Because even on Wolves, he didn't look like. Yes, he was effective, but he didn't look like the player like he's looking like right now at all. Like I wouldn't have been afraid of Jota. As I wouldn't have seen him as a threat. And just checking right now, the stat that you were mentioning, Erik, that is true. He's played so far only 10 matches for his new club, and he has 4 goals in the Champions League now, and he scored 3 already in the Premier League. So 7 in 10 for new boy Diogo Jota. And that wraps up the games that are on Tuesday. Coming on to the Wednesday matches, I missed this one because I've been super wrapped up with the election results, which are crazy for us right now. But it still doesn't make an excuse for Demba Ba, a one-on-one single man counterattack with Matic chasing after him, and Istanbul get their first win against United away. For them at home, they get their first win at home against United. I don't know if you guys caught this match. I was able to go on to the internet really quick before recording so I could look at the goals. And I think just by seeing the replay of the Demba Ba goal, they just like they already looked out of place. Like I think someone had done an analysis where they put markers on where the four fullbacks were, and they were basically like along the 6-yard box, like stretched out, and that was such a weird sequence. Yes, they got lucky on the break, but the thing is that why would you push up so much and leave a player like Matic there? Like at least put someone that can run. Anyway, I don't know. Did any of you guys like watch that match, or did you see the highlights as well, or something like that?
I feel like we're all Josue right now. That we're all be like, nope.
Well, this match was one of the early ones, so it was around like noon that it kicked off. The basically like the kickoffs have been varying. They have 2 early matches, and the rest of them play out around like 3 p.m. Eastern time for us in the afternoon. I think the only thing that I said that my take that I'll put in real quick, I think is very damning for the team to go down like this. They did score 1 goal, which was okay. It was a little bit better, but to have a whole 45 minutes and then still make 5 subs and then still lose, like the inconsistency is something that I have to concede at this point, because it's just been spurts of good wins followed by bad losses.
Okay, so this goes back.
That has to fix up.
I'm gonna interrupt you. All right, so for everybody who's listening and everybody who's watching, you got to go back to yesterday's episode and basically listen to what Diego's response was. What is your answer to my question last night again? Is it just a mediocre team with mediocre players who are playing average football and not punching over their weight? Or is it a team of superstars just playing under their weight?
I honestly don't think they're doing either, man. I think answering by those parameters would put the blame solely on Ole as the manager and the players. When we also, like, at least for me as a United fan, I also have to keep very consciously in mind that we signed 2 right wingers and the right wing is still a problem. Like, this Diallo kid isn't able to start for the club until January, and where we need someone there right now, they're not there right now. Like, and it's just, again, the board had not backed this manager for the players that he needed right away, and that started what I think is going to be a very long, drawn out process to maybe get Ole fired, and that's it. Do we have the squad quality to beat this team? Absolutely. But again, this has happened before. And I think it's just a characteristic of the squad, or maybe even the club, to go through these amazing freaking results, beating PSG and beating Leipzig, the 2 toughest matches. And it's like, all right, of course they lose against this team.
Are you saying conspiracy theory that the board is aiming to get rid of Ole, and they're going to do it the most expensive way possible by buying a bunch of expensive ass players?
Edgar, to Diego's credit, and I do have to back up Diego on this one, because I actually, after seeing the result, I went into a couple of United channels that I've watched on YouTube, and the Ole out brigade has started, and it is not justified, because Ole saved his job by beating PSG and Leipzig, like Diego said, by dominant fashion. And I don't think it's Ole. I think it's the players. In my opinion, I think it's the players who just aren't. They're good. They're definitely better. They're better than what they're showing. They're just not motivated right now. I don't know what it is, but this is gonna. In 18 months from now, we're gonna be having the same conversation of another manager that United are trying to get rid of, and it's all about the head of the snake right now. What's the one thing we know about Barcelona and Real Madrid when shit starts going down? They go for the president. That's a
damn. Okay, so you wanna transition this to the Barcelona chat?
No. I'm just saying, like when they see that things aren't going, they're not going for Koeman. They're going for Mateo. When she's going bad at Real Madrid for like it was for a long time, all of us here were going for Perez. The problem here with some United fans, not Diego. I'll give Diego credit for this, because even I was the one. I was one saying Ole out, but I mean, whatever the coach's status is, but it's the owners. the owners, the recruitment that they have there, it's not good enough. And it's gonna this whole ollie out, potch in, potch out 18 months from now is gonna happen again until they get the head of the snake out.
And I think it's very convenient how things like this start to go into play right when an experienced and able-bodied manager like shows his face. Literally 2 days ago, Monday Night Football.
International break is coming up.
Yes, I guess you can consider it conspiracy theory, but there are enough pieces there, I think, to call it. Still, I think it's embarrassing, at least to give freaking Demba Ba at 35 years old a goal. He did finish it well. Like, this fool, for whatever his age is, Dean Henderson is definitely a top-rated keeper. It was this. A lot of people were trying to compare it to what he did to Liverpool, but I will say that the finish, it was just side-footed. He like finessed it on the ground, put it right past the goalie, and slotted it in. It was game over at that point. Even with Martial bringing one back, it just looked like they didn't have it in them to be motivated to change that. But I don't want to spend too long on United because two other teams in that group did play. Leipzig takes the win against PSG, and this, reading up on the results after everything happened, it did make me feel a little bit better that Di Maria got a penalty saved, and then they ended up losing. So that was great for me. Guys, is it time? I'm going to say it right now. Is it time to permanently label PSG the Spurs of the French league? Like, are they
the Champions League?
The Champions League, yeah.
For the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to actually not? Do you think they'll not make it to the knockouts right now?
So
they have to. All of these matches. I'll remind you guys. All of these matches that we're talking about today, we're literally playing the return in 2 weeks. Like, we're playing the flip of all of them. So they're gonna have to face Leipzig again when they come back from international break.
It's too early, man. It's too early to be saying that. I'll be honest, but PSG is just an expensive potato. They're a spud. They're like very spudsy, and that's it. Like, it's like buying like a $25 fucking baked potato at like
Whole Foods.
Yeah, exactly. Where you can actually just go to Wendy's and get one for $1. So.
Those are pretty good too. Don't sleep on them.
Well, exactly. Which one you rather pay for? Honestly, I'd rather go for the Wendy's one, and that's where you get your Mourinho and your Spurs, and at least you get an offer and you get a good deal. But at PSG, shit, man, you're overpaying everybody on that team, and they can't beat Leipzig. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh well, I will give you guys this extra caveat. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Idrissa Gana Gueye was sent off.
Yeah.
And Kimpembe was also sent off in the 95th minute, both for second yellow. So they're going to miss the next match, which coincidentally is against the same squad. Knowing that, is PSG coming out of this with a win?
I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like PSG play better when there's pressure on. They make it harder for themselves. They I don't know why they do that, but I mean, I think Neymar is gonna step it up. I think Mbappe is going to step it up and get the result at home. I think they were away this game, right? If I'm mistaken, yeah, they were away.
Yeah, they were away.
But they just make it hard for themselves, man. And I mean, as much as I love Neymar and Mbappe, it's a team sport, and they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it. The only way I see things changing there is if Pep goes to PSG.
Pep to
PSG,
Pep
man.
To PSG.
He's going to bring patterns of play. He's going to bring in different style of football.
You are such an asshole. I made that prediction last night. Don't be taking that shit from me. No way.
Excuse me. I said it 2 weeks ago.
You said that Marco.
I said 2 weeks ago.
Everybody's claiming each other's predictions.
Take my shit away from me. When I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm right, I'm wrong.
Okay. So
the next match, though, moving away from PSG and any conspiracies for Pep switching sides, Chelsea did win 3-0 and is looking pretty tight. It's looking pretty tight for that defense, man. This is, I think, their 6th consecutive clean sheet. Mendy joins Peter Cech for being the only other keeper at this squad to have 6 consecutive clean sheets in their first 6 matches for the club. Timo Werner with a penalty. We did get news today that Ziyech has tested positive for COVID, so hoping for a quick recovery for him. He may be missing for them moving forward, but Chelsea with 2 penalties. Tammy Abraham rounding off the 3-0 win. Ren did have a red card in there for a second yellow offense. Is this for Champions League right now? Can you guys see Chelsea rounding off strongly in a group with Sevilla and these other two, I guess, weaker sides? Well, what do you think, Marco, for Chelsea's chances to stay top?
It's a given. I feel like they at least win Champions League, the group stage, they walk away with no problem in first place. I don't see that being a problem right now. Now in the future, we don't know. But within Champions League, I think they're good.
But what about so what if Kepa was gonna play the next 3 matches?
Oh, then I'd say that all 3 matches are lost. No, I'm kidding. I mean, Kepa has to have at least one right? As long as he saves 1 and then they score 5 goals, you're good.
Who's good?
Chelsea. He saves 1, they get 3 more chances. That's 3 goals. They score 5. It's 5-3. You're good. They still win. I mean, Kepa let Erik and I down once, but I mean, we still give him a chance.
For real. That was our fault for trying to troll, but that was our fault.
Way too much.
All right, so Erik, is this new defense going to get them how far in this Champions League?
I mean, I could see it definitely going to. They're getting out of this group 100%, no doubt in my mind. The next round, depending who they come up against, I'm not sure how the table is looking as far as who they'll get involved with, but they're not gonna be competing for the Champions League in my opinion. They're gonna at least go pretty far, but they're not gonna be challenging.
I mean, I know it's early. I'm not trying to get it'd be unfair to put them on a prediction, but it does look like. I think it's safe to say that Chelsea in September was not making it out of the group or getting past the last 16.
I mean, I always had them doing pretty good in the Champions League just because they are that kind of team to have a one-off performance. Now in the Premier League, it's a different story. I think you see a lot more inconsistencies there, but Champions League wise, they are going to do well. But enjoy this while it lasts, because next round, depending who they come up against, it's not going to last too long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. The last match here that I want to round off with on a high note, on a good note, we have Erling Haaland, the boy wonder, the magician himself, the young prodigy, the chosen one. 2 more goals, 2 more goals against Club Brugge. 3-0 win for Borussia Dortmund. Thorgan Hazard getting the early goal in the 14th minute. Listen, I think it's kind of obvious to say that Dortmund have some results where they slipped a little bit, but let's say Smug, do you think that Haaland is going to get picked up by a bigger club?
Not yet. It's too early in the game. He still needs to prove himself over a full season. Now, I know he did it last year, but let's be honest, it's been a year and a half. He's early in his contract. He's way too expensive. Unless someone's really trying to repair their front line, they're not going to pick him up, and he's not going to want to leave because he's got good chemistry. Right now, where a lot of European teams have their issues is in the defense. So he's going to be probably major in like 2 or 3 years once the defenses of these major teams are fixed. Then they're going to be looking for older players like Benzema, like Messi, Salah, Mane. They're a little older. They're going to be looking to replace them, and Haaland is going to be right at the right time to go into those squads.
Marco's making that stank face, man.
I mean, I don't think so. I think when he made the move to Dortmund, I called that in 18 months he'll be leaving, and I still stick by it. I think the kid is phenomenal.
Well, listen, just Marco, you were saying that Haaland is someone that you rate really highly, and you just said that you were predicting 18 months that he was going to move. Is money going to be a problem though?
I mean, is money really a problem with big teams?
Oh, he's 70 mil buyout clause, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
So how old is he? 22, 21?
Nah, bro, he's 19,
Younger?
20, I think.
For a player like that is probably the best investment you can make in the player.
I think they brought him in for like 30 to 35, and they only put his clause to that point to 70, 75, I think it was, which is stupid because the kid is worth 120 with no problem in the market that we're living in right now when it comes to players. So will he leave at the end of the season? I think he will. Where will he go? I have no idea. I'd love to see him in Real Madrid or any well, no, just Real Madrid. Because Arsenal won't pay that well, maybe 70, yes, but will he go to Arsenal?
Right now, for real. His value right now is 72 million euros.
Yeah.
20 years old.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
So he is an easy, cheap pickup that will give you results. A no-brainer.
We're in COVID times, baby. He ain't cheap.
That's also true. But again, to my point, at the end of the season, he will be leaving. It doesn't really matter where Dortmund ends. Most likely second place and somewhere along the quarterfinals of Champions League. And with that, it's enough for him to come in and say, "I'll give you the 70, and I'll give you a couple extra bucks to go to one of these Thai teams in Europe."
Wow, Diego, I just out of curiosity, and how do you feel knowing that Haaland was literally just a signature away from joining United?
I mean, it fucking blows. It sucks. It sucks because someone like that would have been. We wouldn't have gone for Cavani, and we would have had this freaking world beater on our squad. He's not a player that is able to run away from you like the speedy wingers like Coman or someone like that. He's going to come at you because he's going to overpower you. If you remember that video I sent to the chat, I was scared as hell. That dude is enormous. He's massive, bro. He's freaking huge.
Neymar's like, and
just to have that presence on the pitch, listen, I know that everything was in place as far as Solskjaer and some agreement with a pre-made agreement from back in their Molde days when they were playing together, and it just fell apart. And it was something that I guess the money just wasn't there, or whatever his dad saw that pulled the plug on the transfer. So it's something that wasn't meant to be. Can they go in for him? I think at 70 mil, it's a range that's pretty reachable by any big club if they find the cash for it. And we don't have a Gunnersaurus to cut off from the wages, but listen,
Ozil pay for him.
For real. I mean, Ozil will no longer be on the pay on the whatchamacallit next year. Yeah. So
on the wage bill. So anyway, my point is, it sucks to see. It's kind of like, the one that got away. You're looking at how good they're doing or whatever. You don't want to get jealous, but you kind of are. That's how it is, especially knowing that a player was there. So for the taking. But I think honestly, I would have to agree with Marco. I think he's gonna get swiped up by Madrid.
Borussia won't build around him. Damn, man,
it's all about the money, my guy.
Listen, it's all about the cash, bro.
Apparently, for some teams, it might not be.
When Papa Perez comes around with the money bags over his shoulder,
I don't know, man.
You're
Mbappe's going over there, so throwing Haaland on top of that, I don't know. That's
Benzema does need a replacement. I'm just saying.
Does he? My man's fucking killing it right now.
Eventually, he will. The kid is 20, the other one's 31.
Bro,
the transition movement,
bro. On my mother's life, just don't pass to anybody else. On my mom's.
Bro, I still can't believe that, man. I would be so upset if my teammates said that about me on the squad. But whatever.
Yo, so that pretty much wraps up the matches that we wanted to highlight for this midweek, for this short but sweet Champions League episode that we want to put out for you guys. One important fun fact and stat out here, because I got to put the stats out. All of Messi's goals this season have been penalties. So Smug, what is what's up with the GOAT?
Bessie.
What's up with the
Ganamos!
Bessie.
That's all that matters. We won.
Sweatshirt a Liverpool hat on. Come on, yo, get out of here with that nonsense.
I'm just showing Diego what 2 winning teams look like.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Can't even make up your minds.
Listen, well, the both teams won. I had to rock it. I had to come on and tell you, hey, guess what?
2 weeks ago, he couldn't say that.
And that's why I wasn't on.
The Pinaldo fans are always in full force, but when it comes to Pesci and his last 5 goals being all penalties this season.
But you know what? At least Messi's the one getting fouled to get those penalties, so I'm cool with that.
So he's being clever and diving for the penalties too?
Not the way he gets hit, bro. Nah, man. Fucking Barcelona looking like shit, man. It's not looking good. We're in bad shape. It is. Ter Stegen came back today. He had some massive saves, but honestly,
yes,
it's not looking good, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's sad. It's so fucking sad. Like I don't get it.
I'm still not used to you saying we. Like you got a Liverpool hat on, man. What are you talking about?
I mean,
all over here.
Just show the camera from your forehead down. They don't show anything above that.
There you go. I mean, come on.
Lost, bro.
Number one, number two.
Man's lost.
Says Marco. Look behind you. Well, at least both your.
Don't look behind you. He has Arsenal, Real Madrid, and now CFC.
But at least he's got a team in each competition: Europa League, Champions League, and Relegation League.
Well, yeah, somewhat like that. I mean, we're there.
Right? So
this is the only time that Marco won't be bothered being asked about NYCFC because he finally has something to talk about. But anyway, that's the wrong league. That's the wrong competition. That's the wrong league, wrong competition. That's what we're here for. The Champions League comes back in about 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to our Champions League roundup for this week. We're going into dark times with the international break. Hopefully, we don't get more players getting infected with COVID, having season-ending injuries. We already have surgeries coming out. We have death threats. We have security details being hired for goalkeepers. It's going to be a wild and rough season. But thank you for listening in to this midweek Champions League roundup. My name is Diego, joined today by Marco, the interrupter, Erik, the instigator, and Smug on his daily walk. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts by searching Bench Warmers FC. Erik, where can they find all of us on social media?
Make sure you go to our socials, leave us a comment, leave us a like, give us a follow. We're almost at 500. We'd greatly appreciate everything you guys can do to get us there. We want to celebrate that. All on Bench Warmers FC. FC1.
And Marco, they can watch our videos on
YouTube at Bench Warmers FC TV.
Nice. And you can also write to us to make a petition for Edgar to make up his mind on what team to finally support by writing to bench@benchwarmersfc.com. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. We are the Bench with a Voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everyone.
Peace.